Welcome to the 8th grade Math Homework Helper series. Tonight's homework is 1 and 2 step equations, or MS1. We'll start with number 1. Give an example of two different linear equations. Well, let's look at the definition of linear. A linear equation is an equation that has one or more variables, letters, that are raised to the first power, which simply means they don't have any kind of exponent attached to them. So, two examples of equations that have one or more variables with no exponents are right here. X plus y equals 5, y equals 3x minus 5. Let's take a look at number 4. We're going to solve and check. So we have 1.3h plus 78.5 equals 90.26. We want to start by trying to isolate h. We can begin by getting rid of the 78.56. We subtract it. Whatever we do to this side of the equation, we have to do over here. So we go ahead and find our answer for the subtraction, which should work out to be 11.7, and we bring down the rest of the equation. Starting from that point, we still want to try and isolate h. We do so by dividing 1.3, and whatever we do on one side, we have to do on the other. Now, I'm not going to go through and show you how to do the division specifically, but I do know that this is an area where many students have problems. So what I will do is give you some hints on how to get started on this or any other time you have a division problem that's set up like a fraction. So keep in mind, first of all, that the top number is your inside number when you set up your division. The bottom number is your outside number when you set up division. So you think of it as I over O. When you go ahead and do this, you should figure out that h equals 9. And then we have to go ahead and plug 9 in for h when we do our check. So we have 1.3 times 9, which works out to be 11.7. We add that to 78.56, and in fact it does work out to be 90.26. So our check works, which indicates that our answer is correct. Moving on to page 2. Take a look at number 8. Start by copying the problem. We want to isolate k. We start by getting rid of 5 2/5. Since it's negative here, we'll add the positive. Whatever we do to one side of the equation, we do to this side. We go ahead and solve that out, and we get negative 6 and 0/5, which 0/5 doesn't need to be there. I put it there simply so that you'll see that when you subtract those, you're going to wind up with 0. So as we rewrite it in step 2, we can leave 0/5 off. We should also bring down the rest of the equation. So we have 3/4 k equals negative 6, and that's what we're going to bring down to step 2. We want to isolate the k. We do so by dividing these out with the reciprocal of 3/4, and if we multiply the reciprocal to this side, we've got to do it to this side. So that leaves us with k equaling negative 8. For our last step, let's plug negative 8 in for k, and if you go ahead and do the work on that, multiplying 3/4 times negative 8, you're going to get negative 24 over 4, which reduces to negative 6. You are then going to plug in the rest of the problem, and the check works, because we wind up with the answer that we started with. And lastly, number 11, write the problem out. Isolate m by getting rid of 6. We do it to one side, we do it to the other. So we're left with m over 7 equals 21. Now we want to isolate m further by getting rid of the 7. We do that by multiplying. Whatever we do to one side of the equation, we have to do to the other. So that brings us to m equaling 147. We can check by plugging 147 in for m. That reduces down to 21. Minus 6 does in fact equal 15. So that indicates that our answer is correct. Use these problems to help you with the additional problems that are on your homework.